We have all the time in the world.
Why, hello there YouTube and welcome back to our series of James Bond. So as you know, the franchise is reaching its 60th year and I'm marking the occasion by going over the Bond years along with other things related to the Bond franchise. So, this one we're talking about the Lezenby year. So, 1969 came along and Sean Connery, he'd had enough of playing Bond, he wanted to do other stuff. So they had to recast him. Of course, we had the return of Bernard Lee as M and Desmond Llewellyn as Q and Lois Maxwell as Moneypenny. But we needed a new lead. And taking on that role was model actor George Lezenby, who was considered for the part after seeing a cigarette commercial where he's wearing a tuxedo, and they thought, perfect. So they casted him as the new lead actor James Bond. And basically, with this being a new face playing the character, I guess people were used to seeing Connery. So anyway, George Lezenby made his first and last James Bond outing in the 1969 one on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which featured Diana Rigg as the Bond girl, and would be the only Bond girl to my knowing that married him at the end. Because at the end of this, when Bond completed his mission with Spectre, or so he thought, he decided to settle down and wed, only for all that to be taken away from him when Spectre drove by, attempting to shoot him, but instead shot his beloved. And that was pretty much the end of George Lazenby's era. So he only did one Bond film. But I guess he did one film, but enough to leave his impact and his face on the James Bond brand. Now, George Lazenby's Bond, I think he was probably the most civilised one, not as much of a womanizer as Connery was, but still a bit of a ladies' man. Of course, he was a lot kinder and a lot more slick, and I thought he was an okay Bond, but I feel that we didn't see enough of him. Like I say, one Bond film, yeah, but as I've said before, I guess it takes like 3 movies before you can fully warm up to them as Bond, and he only did one, so we never got to see anything more after that film. Of course, Lazenby did state he's more of a model than an actor, but I can't recall anything I've seen him in else, because I don't know any more films George Lazenby's done. He's probably done more, but I've just not seen them. But the film on Her Majesty's Secret Service was probably the longest one at that time it was made, running in at 138 minutes, just 2 hours and 18 minutes. And it then got people also thinking the theory, what if James Bond is a code name? Every 00 agent that takes on the number 007, that is male, takes on a new identity, a new code name that is James Bond. Because they've done it with M. We've seen them do it with Q and Moneypenny, so why shouldn't it be with James Bond as well? Because at the opening act of this film on Her Majesty's Secret Service, Bond does say, I don't remember this happening to the last fellow. Now, that could mean anything from he's picking up after another agent on this mission, or basically he's the new 007 and he's took on the name James Bond. Of course, there's another theory that people have gone on in the 90s action film The Rock with Sean Connery and Nick Cage, where they theorise that he's an ex-James Bond. He's a former 00. But again, that's a theory. And the whole theory of James Bond being a code name still remains a theory. We don't know if it's true or not, but maybe now with Daniel Craig's Bond done, maybe we'll see an on-screen transition. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, back to the Lazenby years. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a good Bond film. it does have a good soundtrack, such as the theme song that they go with, which is instrumental and not sang by any. But it does have a Louis Armstrong song featured in there called "All the Time in the World," which I feel is a nice song, and even featured at the end of "No Time to Die." So yes, we got Lezenby as Bond for the first and last time. So then there was 1969, then a new decade was upon it. The 1970s. 1970, we didn't get a Bond film, but in 71, as I discussed in the previous episode about the Connery years, Sean Connery returned one last time for a paycheck, and then ended his run as Bond there. But then in 1972, we didn't get one. 1973 came along, and then a new era began for Bond. A new actor took on the lead role and would go on there to be the longest running Bond, or at least the one to do the most Bond films so far, and that would be Roger Moore. But anyway, yes, that's it. This is probably the shortest one because, like I said, George Lezenby only did one Bond film, so I haven't had much to say about that other than his only Bond film he did. So anyway, yeah, that's it for this one. So what did you think to George Lezenby's one go around as Bond? Did you like it? Do you feel it? Do you wish he could have done more? Let me know all that down in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are down below in the description below, so be sure to check all that out. So yeah, I've been Random Ross, and this has been James Bond, the Lezenby Year. So join me next time for the more years. So yeah, until next time, I bid you all a goodbye, friends, goodbye.